irrespective of the fact whether we've spent 10 years on this campus, like some of your teachers have, or even if it's been just 10 days. There are a couple of teachers who recently joined us, but I think the feeling is just the decennial celebration. And at this point, I really wonder if we are so delighted and happy. How does Ms. Vani feel about this little baby of hers, which has moved from infancy to childhood? 10 long years, I'm sure Ms. Vani has seen highs and lows. Every year, new targets being achieved. Every year, new goals being set. Landmarks, feathers in the cap. And I only hope that today she's a bit satisfied that the baby is growing up well. And before you realize, Ms. Vani, this child, we are delighted that in our midst this morning, when we are celebrating Shakti, which is the celebration of having women next to you. We are celebrating the presence of powerful women who are around you. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Ms. Shruti Oja, IAS, who's currently the Additions Commissioner at GHMC. Welcome to Kansas, Ms. Shruti. And along with her, the young and dynamic pilot in the Indian Air Force. You know, uniforms are always highly motivating, and I'm sure as you see Ms. Sania, you just want to stand in attention and give her a salute. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. A great deal about these two wonderful ladies who've carved a niche for themselves. Not only the country is going to be extremely proud of them. A lot more about them will take place in the next segment of today's program when we have a chat show with us today, when we are very delighted to welcome some of the mothers who have joined us this morning. They are parents of boys and girls from grade 9, 10 and 12. And these are mothers who love you immensely, who take care of you selflessly. They are the ones who make your house a beautiful home. And I'm sure you'll all agree, they are the backbone of your family. Aren't they? Yes. So let's hear it for all the mothers over here who are seated in this balcony. Thank you so much. Although you've come for a competition, filled with pleasure. So welcome to Kansas Valley. And of course, I have to welcome somebody who I know will just do this. Why did you have to do that? But she is our role model as we take a leap into the next decade. Thank you, Vimla ma'am, for being always there for us. And much that you undermine your coming to school, let me say that your presence here is a big deal for us. Thank you so much. And now I will welcome Ashwath. And you'll wonder, who is this new kid on the block? Who is Ashwath? But if I tell you, Ashwath means a tree of knowledge. Any idea where is Ashwath at the moment? It said a tree of knowledge which has been unfurled. And I would like the two creators of Ashwath to please come here. If Srikanth sir is around, the art and craft teacher at Ganges, and along with him, Mr. Vijay, who is the in-house teacher for carpentry. If Vijay is also here, a loud round of applause for creating this masterpiece for us. Thank you so much for coming. Given to this institution. And now the tree has to blossom. It blossoms when it gets those beautiful green leaves. And we are hoping this Ashwath is going to be an evergreen tree. So how do we have these leaves on Ashwath? It is a tree of innovation. So any innovative practice that we want to implement at Ganges has to come from the Gangians. Not necessarily from the management and ED ma'am or AD ma'am or the principal. You all are going to ensure that this tree has as many leaves as possible. So think of ways and means already is. Think of changes and innovation that you want in your classroom, in organizing programs, in our social outreach project. Whenever you have an idea, you just need to take a leaf, write down the idea on it and give it to your class teacher. And then there's a team of teachers who will go through that idea, will implement it also. and try and see if it works for Ganges, then your leaf takes a permanent place on that tree, and imagine Ganges is true. So everybody has to think out of the box, and you have to think differently. And just last night I went through one of the videos of Mr. Tata, where he actually said that when they were young and they joined any organization, a young boy, 25, 30-year-old, if they walked up to the management and said, I have an idea, the manager would say, it's too early to give ideas. Roll up your sleeve and start working. 10 years down the line, you walk up to me and tell me what your idea is. But I think times have changed. And so did Mr. Ratan Tata say. Times have changed. It's the young who have all those, and let's ensure that Ashwath can grow bigger and bigger, greener and greener. Because remember, winners don't do different things. They do things differently. Beautifully put over there. I wish you all a beautiful morning that is to unfold. A very happy summer vacation. Come back in June. All dreams God will be the sun. Thank you so much for being with us.
Let us think differently and be an integral part of ensuring that this tree blossoms and grows greener day after day, month after month, and year after year.
Shakti is the dynamic energy that is responsible for creation and maintenance of the universe. Shakti honors the empowerment of women as they progress through various stages of their life. Women are the epitome of wealth and power. Women deliver change and progress. Shakti is a humble attempt to celebrate the grace of every such woman, to realize her potential in making this world a better place. We request the guests to sit back and relax and enjoy the dance recital by Veda, Kusumanjali, Bhumi, Pranati and Anjali. The dance honors
gathered here today to make Shakti a successful one. I now request our guests and mothers to have a cup of tea in the common area.
The mothers participating in the competitions are requested to proceed to the designated venues after the tea. The competitions will begin in 20 minutes. The guests are requested to proceed to the mini auditorium post-tea for some gupshup with Ganjils, the ultimate talk show. I request the class teachers and the discipline team to take the students.
हौसला उड़ान होती है।
अरे वाह वाह, बहुत ताली। अब मैं तो शायरी की किताब हूँ।
और जरा गैंजेस के 5G तो बता दीजिए।
गैंजेस की भूमि पे खड़े होके 5G? So please listen and be proud of being a Gangian here. ये धरती grounded, इसकी हरियाली ग्रीन, आपने दी ये कुर्सी, उसके लिए हूँ मैं ग्रेटफुल। और इतने प्यारे बच्चे
इतने सब यहाँ उनकी जेनरोसिटी उनके लिए जेनरस और जो मेरा कैरेक्टर जैसी मैं हूँ कॉन्फिडेंस मेरे अंदर कूट कूट के भरा है इसके लिए ग्रिट अब बोलिए लगा दे ठोको ताली
हो जाओ विराजमान मैं तो चल अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी
चलिए चलिए हरजोत जी आपका पंजाब इंतजार कर रहा है और ये कुर्सी तो अब है गर्जना सिंह की जाइए जाइए बाय 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 नमस्ते
Now, I would like to call upon our two dynamic interviewers, Amal and Venkat, to begin the Ganges Gupshup show. Come on, boys!
So namaste everyone. Are we all excited for Ganges Gupshup?
Oh, excuse me a minute. There's something wrong with my trumpet and I simply cannot find out what it is.
Okay, this is truly a great event and I don't want to start it off with your horrendous rendition of a trumpet. So namaste once again everyone and especially to our guests, Ms. Shruti Oja, Scored Leader Sanya, Vani Ma'am and Vibra Ma'am. We extend a very warm welcome from Team Ganges. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome our first guest on stage, Ms. Shruti Oja, an IAS officer who is currently the Additional Commissioner of GHMC Telangana. So welcome on stage, ma'am.
I also take this opportunity to welcome Squadron Leader Sanya, who is a pilot in the Indian Air Force, onto the stage. Welcome, ma'am. I also invite our Executive Director, Ms. Vani Raju, onto the stage.
So Venkat, what do you think we have there?
A picnic basket, I would say.
Well, let's be more specific to everyone in the audience. This, in fact, is a hamper.
A hamper stuffed to the brim with goodies.
This hamper is very significant to our event, so we will be disclosing more information about it later on in the event. So until then, please do stay tuned. So,
First the trumpet, now the hamper. What have you got against me? You never let me finish anything.
ignore him. So either way, so far,
Good morning to everyone in the audience, and it's really an honor to be here, to be thought of and considered to grace the occasion for such an important event for your school. So I thank you for inviting me. And coming to the question why I selected to join the Indian Administrative Service, my father was also in the civil service, he was in the revenue service. So immediately that was my inspiration. And in my graduation, I have studied law, so we deal a lot on the other side of the table, if I may say so. And I thought through my experiences in my law school, it would be better and different to join, to go and see on the other side. And after that, I, understood more about what the civil services are, what is the preparation required, and what is the job profile. And then I gradually, decided to join. So. There are so many opportunities. I think women don't attempt to go into a lot of opportunities thinking that they won't be able to cope up or they have some problems later on. But actually there is no use only anymore today. It's just the self-belief that you can do or really believe and be confident and not let anything stop you.
that's really a great value. So I did my homework and I found out that just 5,000 out of India's 1.5 crore people get to hold a position as prestigious as yours, ma'am. So how many of those can you say are outstanding women?
Exactly my point that now a lot of women are writing the civil services. About 30 years back, what used to be a small percentage, now it is almost 30 to 40% of women are not writing but even clearing the examination. The number of women writing the examination is almost the same as men. So definitely that's exactly underscores my point that there is nothing like a woman attempting to write an exam or going into a particular profession. It's all there is no difference basically between a woman officer and a male officer. They can do and they do much better because they have certain additional mental strength and they are able to balance relationships and work-life balance is much more in women. So I feel they are better, more empathetic and more in a better position to deal with the job challenges and the pressures. So thank you.
And I think you're the best example of what you said. So.
Amal, I have something to say, kind words. Today, when I find myself seated on this chair, Pakka, Sidhu ji to ab Punjab mein hi rahenge because this chair is now mine and that's the lady power. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Celebrate today is Shakti. Shakti has many meanings and different people understand it in different ways. Now to me, Shakti is the energy that runs the cosmos. Now what does Shakti mean to you?
Good morning, respected teachers and all the students. As Venkat said, Shakti means differently to different people. I think Shakti is the power to be yourself. The Shakti is the power to inspire. Shakti is patience. But most importantly, I think Shakti is being able to help someone in need. That is Shakti to me.
Ma'am, you must help millions of people every day, ma'am. Ma'am, we salute you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, who or what has inspired you to tame the skies?
Actually, it's a very funny and a filmy story. I was, I think, in 7th grade, about 11 years old. And some fine evening, I met with an Air India pilot. And I immediately thought that, oh wow, I want to become a pilot. But at that stage, it really doesn't stick with you. But like ma'am's inspiration, my father was in the army and I was slowly drifted towards joining the services. And I ultimately combined both of these as to why not join the Indian Air Force and serve the country.
As you said, that's quite a filmy story.
So can you tell us a bit more about your schooling?
That my school name is Villa Teresa High School. That is in Mumbai. So up to the 10th grade I studied there. It was an all-girls school and I haven't seen this picture in like almost 10-15 years. So what more do you want to know? Why don't you ask me something specific?
Memo, how were you as a student? Were you a goody two-shoes or did you ever pull a few pranks every now and then?
See, I think every child has that impish quality in them to pull pranks. Of course, the nature of pranks at my time were much different because we didn't have cell phones. So we could literally prank somebody by, wrong dialing. There was no caller tune, there was no caller ID. So that was a totally different time. But I always was an academic-oriented student. That does not mean that I was, in the top ranks throughout my schooling years. So I think, over each and every year I improved on myself and then gradually, I bettered my position or bettered my performance every year. But definitely I was interested in academics. I was a sincere student and I urge you all also to, take all your exams and study seriously, even though, and work hard, even though, you may not get the desired result. I mean, there are so many exams and so many opportunities which will come later. I mean, at that moment, I felt my 10th standard board exams was the end of the world, and that was the only thing which was important for me. And I thought if I did really well in my 10th standard, I would not have to worry for the next 30 years of my life, which is obviously wrong. Immediately after I cleared the exam, the next question was what entrance exam to give, what stream to pick. So, I mean, that cycle never ends, so one should just remember that, there are many exams, even if you don't do well in one, there are other opportunities. So, but yes, I was a sincere student, and I was also, I used to participate in a lot of athletic activities. So, I used to do 100 meter, 200 meter sprint running, and yeah, and academics.
So you said it was an all-girls school, so did that instill any specific qualities in you that make you who you are today?
Not, I mean, that was just a coincidence that I was in an all-girls school. I don't think, being in a girls' school or, co-education, has that much of an impact, especially today because, we have friends and outside school, we are so connected with social media. I lived in a colony, so I had a lot of, friends my age who were also boys who belonged to different schools. So specifically, not really. But just because it's a girls' school, there were certain qualities. I don't think so.
And so once again, if you look on the board, I have to arise and ask the question: what did you do? Where did you go for your higher studies?
Yeah. So after 12th, I went to Calcutta for my law school. So that's a 5-year course after 12th standard. So I studied the law degree called BA LLB course in Calcutta. That's my university name and the picture.
So when you took up law as a career, did you have the idea of becoming an IAS in mind, or was it just something that fell in place later on?
I think that that fell in place later on because to write the civil service examination, you have to have a degree. You have to graduate from college. So when you're in the 11th and 12th standard, you really don't think about what after graduation. At least I didn't think of anything after that. So in fact, during my time in my law school, that's when after doing so many internships over all the years and understanding a little more about the system, the other professions out there, that's when I gradually developed an interest towards government service. And then once that direction was more clear, you find out more about it and then you gradually enter into that.
Yes, ma'am. So could you tell us a bit about the atmosphere and how life was at college?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, mainly because I see a lot of, there's a lot of extracurricular activities that happens in law school. In law school, the classes are only till around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, unlike, engineering where I think they have practicals and they have a lot more academics till the evening. So we had our afternoons free. So we had a lot of societies in my college, lot of quiz societies, lot of arts and crafts and dances and legal aid, a lot of academics, lot of societies. We had a lot of interaction with other colleges in Calcutta as well. So it was very all-round, experience. We frequently went to other universities in the city as well. So we were not, holed up in our campus alone. So it was pretty interactive. We also had a couple of colleges just in the same lane as my college. So we had a lot of friends across different streams and different backgrounds as well. So it was a very nice experience. But the best experience was that it was hostel life. It was my parents were in Bombay and I was in Calcutta. So it was like East Coast, West Coast situation. So initially I was of course very homesick, like most people. But then now I look back, those were really the best hostel years of my life, where you really had to do everything yourself and totally different kind of fun. So yeah.
So all the words from my mouth, because my next question was just going to be, were you a day scholar or a hosteler?
No, I was a hosteler.
Ma'am, so did you have a lot of nights where you sneaked out with your friends or did something?
In my first year, we had a curfew in college, which gradually, due to student requests, that was done away gradually every year. So it's a 5-year course. So in my second year, we had a later curfew, third year later curfews. By the time I was in my final few years, 2 years, we didn't have a curfew in the hostel. So, but that does not mean that we were out all the time. The thing is that because there is a curfew, you feel like going out. When there is a curfew, you just don't want to do anything outside of the campus. So yeah, we were pretty fortunate to be in that college because of this.
Amazing, ma'am. Over.
Ma'am, here's a question for you. Ma'am, do you have any sweet childhood memory to share with us that makes you instantly happy when you think about it?
Namaste to everyone. Thank you, Sanya and ma'am, both of you for being here. And Principal ma'am, and it is a proud moment for me when you said, I hope I'm happy. I'm more than happy. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey of 10 years. I have 2 daughters, and then when they were kind of, my older one, when she finished her 10th, I had time in my hand, and I started this baby at that, so it's like a baby boy for me. And it gives me immense pleasure the way it's flourishing, and more than anything, I think more than anybody else, I think I've learned the most of my life in these 10 years. So it's been a joy. And coming to you, Venkat, about my childhood, unlike ma'am, I was hardly a studious student. So academics were last on my list. I was into sports. I was very playful, very naughty, jumping over the walls over my college. I think my college life, I think those 3 years of my graduation have been the best years of my life, which I had least responsibility. And
Ma'am, this seems to be a very foggy picture. Ma'am, are you the commander of all those toys in the background you've neatly arranged?
It seems like so, but I must tell you I was not a very tidy kid. So that must be the goals of my mother.
Ma'am, I saw
Something compliments were about me, so we're going to try to handle it as well.
Well, actually at that time I just threw paper balls. I don't even remember if I can make a plane now.
And so one thing I remember about paper was when our exams was over, we used to make that paper firecracker, and everyone used to throw it in class, and it used to be so loud and annoying.
And ta-da! Ma'am, you seem to be the agile one of the bunch on the tree. Ma'am, did you ever get your parents concerned this way?
Yes, like every other parent, they must have been. But I think they never stopped me from, they gave me a word of caution, but they never used to stop me from doing anything. So maybe that was the reason behind my motivation to do what I really wanted to do. It's a really small tree.
And ma'am, do you still climb trees?
I would love to, but I don't do it anymore, I think.
And ma'am, over here, ma'am, do you still play basketball?
Yeah, sometimes I take out time to play.
Ma'am, you appear to be the captain of the team. So ma'am, now let's have a game of basketball. Except with a twist. Instead of using basketballs, we're going to use table tennis balls.
Okay.
Ma'am, would you also like to call that whoever dribbles the fastest wins? And the reason we haven't taken up basketball is because, well, it's pretty easy to dribble. But a TT ball, let's say it's like a sparrow. Ma'am, I request you to come on. Ma'am, whoever dribbles the fastest wins. And Sayama wins! Let's hear it for Sayama!
Waiters, I think we have banners here. Yes, will it be here? So, ma'am, salute to both of you.
It's Patrick Art Show! This
कि मैं कैप्टन बनूं। देखो स्कूल में मैं हाउस कैप्टन बन गई, डांस कैप्टन बन गई, लेकिन डिफेंस में कभी कैप्टन नहीं बन पाई। तो आज सानिया मैम हमारे साथ हैं, तो मेरे पास बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन हैं जो मैं आज सानिया मैम से पूछूंगी। तो उससे पहले मैंने सुना है सानिया जी बहुत अच्छा एयरक्राफ्ट चलाती हैं, तो मैं भी अच्छा चलाती हूँ। तो आज हो जाए हम दोनों में कंपटीशन।
बिल्कुल जी।
आप अपना लो और मैं तो अपना हमेशा साथ लेकर चलती हूँ। तो आइए सानिया जी। गर्जना जी बोलिए 1 2 3। देखते हैं किसकी उड़ान ज्यादा दूर तक है। कोई बात नहीं, next time हम उड़ाएंगे साथ में। अच्छा, दोनों पायलट तो साथ में हैं, तो सेल्फी तो एक बनती है। दो पायलट। बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन है, इतने सारे डाउट है कि जो मुझे आज तक समझ में नहीं आया क्या हो सकता है। तो पहला जो मेरा प्रश्न है वो ये है कि मैंने 10वीं पास कर ली, 12वीं भी पास कर ली, ग्रेजुएशन भी कर ली, लेकिन डिफेंस में मैं कभी आ ही नहीं पाई। आपने कैसे एंट्री मारी यहाँ पर?
जी ग्रेजुएशन के बाद एक रिटर्न एग्जाम होता है जो
रिटर्न एग्जाम धरते की यहीं पर तो मैं मार खा गई। रिटर्न एग्जाम जरूरी है क्या?
जी लड़कियों के लिए ग्रेजुएशन करना जरूरी है और उसके बाद रिटर्न देना जरूरी है, बट आजकल एनडीए में लड़कियां जा रही हैं तो 12th के बाद इमीडिएटली रिटर्न एग्जाम दे सकते हैं।
ठीक है, रिटर्न एग्जाम तो पता नहीं पॉसिबल है या नहीं, लेकिन आप सिफारिश लगा दो ना, कोई ना कोई जुगाड़ तो होगा आपका। ओके, आपको गर्जना जी मालूम है कल मैं मार्केट से आ रही थी, मैंने रोंग साइड ले ली, सामने ट्रैफिक पुलिस वाला उसने काट दिया मेरा चालान। अब श्रुति मैम जब आप भी रोड पर जाती होंगी, मुझे लगता है वो लाल बत्ती देखकर सारा रोड खाली हो जाता होगा। अब बात है सानिया जी की। अब सानिया जी जब आप एयरक्राफ्ट लेकर जाती हो हवाओं में कितना मजा आता होगा, है ना? तो आपको कोई ट्रैफिक पुलिस वाला नहीं मिलता, चालान नहीं लगता क्या आपका?
जी ट्रैफिक पुलिस के संदर्भ में एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर्स होते हैं हवा में। जैसे रोड पे रास्ते बने होते हैं, आपको पता होता है कहाँ जाना है, जैसे हवा में तो रास्ते होते हैं, तो ग्राउंड बेस एज और एयरक्राफ्ट में कुछ सिस्टम्स होते हैं जिससे आप पता कर सकते हैं कि ये सीधी लाइन फॉलो करनी है। उसमें अगर आप गलत टर्न ले लें तो आपको भी डांट पड़ती है वहाँ से।
अच्छा, मतलब हमें भी पड़ती है, आपको भी पड़ती है ना, फिर तो ठीक है। अच्छा सानिया जी, आपका जो जॉब है वो ऐसा है कि आपको डेंजरस का सामना तो करना ही पड़ता होगा। कभी आपकी लाइफ में ऐसा हुआ कि कोई डेंजरस मोमेंट आपके सामने आया, उसे आपको टैकल करना पड़ा?
अनलाइक द आर्मी, मतलब हमारा ग्राउंड कॉम्बैट उतना नहीं होता है, बट एक मोमेंट ऐसा था जब मेरे एयरक्राफ्ट में छोटी सी फायर लग गई थी एक इंजन में, और उसको रिकवर करके फुल पैसेंजर्स ऑन बोर्ड थे, उसको रिकवर करके हमने आगरा में लैंड किया था। वो एक आप कह सकते हैं थोड़ा डेंजरस मोमेंट।
सानिया जी, मैंने सुना है आपके हस्बैंड भी पायलट हैं
जी,
और वो भी आपके जैसे बहुत अच्छा एयरक्राफ्ट चलाते हैं। तो यहाँ पर ये क्वेश्चन है, देखो घर पे बहुत सारी डिस्कशंस होती रहती हैं। अब आप लोगों के बीच में भी डिस्कशन तो होती होंगी, टाइम कहाँ है आप लोगों के पास? तो आप लोग डिस्कशन सारी हवा में ही कर लेते हो या जमीन पर भी आके करते हो कभी?
जी बाय रूल हस्बैंड्स एंड वाइफ्स कैन नॉट फ्लाई टुगेदर इन वन एयरक्राफ्ट। तो जितनी बातें करनी होती है वो जब टाइम मिलता है जमीन पे ही करते हैं।
अच्छा, जमीन पे। चलो यहाँ पर भी हम दोनों सेम। भारती जी चीफ गेस्ट थे और सानिया जी एवियन भारती जी की ही बहू है।
बहुत ही सुंदर, बहुत बढ़िया। इसी बात पे खूब बताती।
तो आज हमारे यहाँ पर इस मंच पर तीन हस्तियां हैं, एक एंटरप्रेन्योर और आईएएस और पायलट। तीनों ही हमारे लिए इंस्पिरेशन है। सैल्यूट करना है आप लोगों को। मैं यहाँ पर गैंडस के बच्चों को यही बोलना चाहूंगी कि ऊंचे ऊंचे सपने देखो ताकि आप ऊंची उड़ान भर पाओ। भगवान जाने कौन कल कहाँ की उड़ान भरे। यहाँ पर मैं 2 पंक्तियां गुनगुनाऊंगी। हाँ ये रास्ता है तेरा, तूने अब जाना है। हाँ ये सपना है तेरा, तूने पहचाना है। अब तुझको दिखाना है, अब तुझको दिखाना है। हाँ। Thank you.
So I'm sure all of us can admit that that was, like yours, must require a lot of training and a lot of hard work behind it. So can you tell us a bit more about a training as an analysis officer? What do you have to say about that?
Once you get selected into the service, you have to go to a training in Missouri. So as you know, that is a 3-month foundation course. So in that, apart from certain select academic subjects which they teach you, the 50% focus is on physical fitness and mental fitness. So every morning from 5:30 in the morning, we up to 7 o'clock, we have a mandatory physical fitness session of exercises, and then we have the classes. So that and every weekend also we have a lot of mix of cultural activities which we have to participate in, and also again some more physical fitness, because Missouri is, you know, in the Himalayas, so a lot of treks, short treks, long treks. So and everybody has to do it. You don't need, there is no option for that. And after that we have for 2 months we go to certain select places where we have not visited before. So, you know, different parts of the country where we have attachments with different private organizations, government organizations, even Army and Navy and Air Force also, to get an understanding, you know, of the different, wings of the government and even of the non-government sector. And then after that we have the district training, so which is more like a practical hands-on field training. So we do that, and then so after that we go back. We have exams in the academy also. So it's, as I said, it's a mix of academic, mix of physical fitness, mix of practical on-field training also. So we have to learn languages also. So it's a pretty all-round kind of a training. In fact, I have, even people who are till they join the academy, who have been having very sedentary life or who have never, even been interested in any kind of sports, they all successfully do the trekking at the end of it. So somehow, the course, they gradually, develop your fitness to a point where everyone, and there are people of all age groups, all backgrounds, all sizes and shapes, and they all are able to, complete all the physical courses. So, and living in the academy itself is a pretty physically active lifestyle, climbing the stairs to go to classes and coming back. So in general, you're pretty active.
So a question to the audience, how many of us are aspiring from the IFS, the IAS, or the IPS? Can you have a raise of hands, please?
Okay. The first step is definitely you should first focus on getting admission into a good graduation college. That is the first step. The second step is that if you, after getting admission into a college of your choice, if you still want to write this exam, you should understand a little more about it. You should see what are the subjects you need to study for the preparation. And once you really feel that that is something you want to go for, then you should dive into the preparation of it. and definitely you should focus on your college and try to do well there also. Because like any other exam, you know, there is a lot of some amount of chance. So you should not neglect your graduation. And of course, now the third tip coming to writing of the exam is practice not only the study part of it, but also practice writing the papers, so that it's equally important to be able to write whatever you know. So, you know, you should do time management and practice subjective answer writing and objective answers. So, writing exams is also a different kind of skill, so which comes only through practicing the papers. So, these are my offhand tips.
So all of you make sure you keep these in mind when you go to join college. Over to you, Becca.
We have the Air Force Academy here in Dundigal. It's for a pilot, it's a 1.5 year course training before you pass out, and for other branches it is 1 year. So that training involves physical fitness, and in the first 6 months you don't get to touch the aircraft. It's all ground-based studies of the subjects related to flying, mostly aerodynamics, or studying about the engines or the aircraft structure. So amongst those classes, the classes are from about 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So for that, you get up around 4 in the morning. From 4 to 7:30, you have some physical exercises. Then you go to class, come back, have lunch, and about 3 to 5 again in the afternoon, you have some physical exercises. These are unofficial by the seniors. And then you have PT in the evening for about 2 hours. Then you come back, change, have dinner, and again a round of physical exercises. And then you sleep by about 11, wake back around 4. So this is the first 6 months. And the next 1 year is when you get the flying training, and when you get to actually fly the aircraft.
Medals.
Okay, so this is the summer ceremonial uniform. It has a peak cap, and the medal. I have 2 medals, and these medals you get when you complete some distinguishing part in your career. So the one on the left is called the Service Suraksha Medal. It's for completing in per se flying branch. It's for completing 20 takeoffs and landings in the Rajasthan sector. And this is the Raksha Medal, in which the Jammu and Kashmir and the Punjab sector, if you complete 10 takeoffs, 20 hours of takeoff and landing, you get this medal. And the wing here signifies that you're a pilot. So the full wing is for the pilot, and we have a half wing also, which are for navigators in the navigation branch, which is also the unit I'm posted to. It is the navigation training school. So we undertake the training of navigators.
Who are there?
There are about 16 uniforms in total of the Air Force.
Ma'am, 16! This school only has 3 uniforms. Ma'am, is it difficult for you to be a passenger on a commercial flight?
Not actually. I sleep like a log in a commercial flight. I just go there, strap my seatbelt on, and go off to sleep.
So, ma'am, it's sort of like a NASCAR driver in a taxi.
You would say that.
It helps to relax from the job.
So let's not ignore the
Again? We're being interrupted again? This is the second great crash today. We have words for anything.
नमस्ते नमस्ते। क्या आपके स्टेट और बन रहे हैं कि नहीं बन रहे? नहीं बन रहे हैं। अगर नहीं बन रहे तो मैं आम जनता पार्टी का अध्यक्ष हुसैन आ रहा हूं तेलंगाना जीतने। तैयार रहिएगा। हॉस्पिटल और स्कूल के साथ बिजली भी फ्री करवा देंगे। नमस्ते नमस्ते।
हुसैन जी, बिजली ले लो, हॉस्पिटल बना लो, पुल बना लो, कुर्सी तो मेरी है और मेरी नहीं।
मर्द नमस्ते। अब पंजाब में तो हमारी झाड़ू मान कर दिया, आप बताएं हैदराबाद की क्या हाल है? हर हाल में, चाहे बारिश हो या कोई भी मौसम, हर चीज में हैदराबाद कैसे कर रहा है, कैसे तरक्की कर रहा है?
हाँ, हैदराबाद तो आप खुद ही देख रहे होंगे कितना तरक्की कर रहा है।
हाँ, लगता है मेरे आने के बाद और ज़्यादा तरक्की करेगा।
मेरी उम्मीद है आपके आने के बाद और भी
Well, a lot of work you do, a lot of responsibilities you have. How do you prioritize things, your work?
Yeah, so within the work you're asking. Yeah, so within the work there will be some seasonal priorities, particular time there will be certain priorities of the government, there will be certain priorities. Which are the government priorities are at that moment are your priorities. Then of course during the monsoon season you will have the priorities, where you have to complete the tasks in preparation of the monsoons, disease prevention preparations. So it varies actually, and according to the calendar of a year and according to the government priorities.
That's a very tough stop. Ma'am, I have a question for Vani ma'am as well. You have a huge campus, ma'am, and big organization. And I have seen many students who wanted to become engineers, doctors, but not politicians. So what can be done to develop interest among students so that they can choose politics as their career?
What can we do to create interest for them among students? Probably we need to have better politicians as role models. For them to be inspired. We have very inspiring people like Shakti and Sanya to get into that line. But I don't see so many as inspiring leaders. Maybe as voters, we should select and vote for more responsible, educated leaders for them to be inspired.
लगता है कि 5 साल में के जिससे बहुत सारे पॉलिटिशियंस आने वाले हैं.
And elections round the corner in a year or two. I hope we all vote to more responsibility and to better leaders.
हमारे भारत ने महारत हासिल की हुई है दूसरे देशों को पीछे छोड़ने में. उदाहरण के तौर पर मैं आपको बता दूं, पॉपुलेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में हम हर साल एक ऑस्ट्रेलिया को जन्म, और वैसे ही अगर बरसात के मौसम की हम बात करें तो पुराने शहर में देखने को मिलता है कि बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े स्विमिंग पूल उभर आते हैं. तो इसको रोकने के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं?
For that, there's a lot of hidden effort of the government which may not be visible. So to prevent regular rainfall, there is a strong system of nalas and stormwater drains in Hyderabad city. Usko strengthen karne ke liye also every year they take up even bigger nala strengthening projects from where rainwater can flow into whatever the efforts are being done for strengthening that channel. In addition to that, there are so many teams which are there round the clock to see there is a certain time to for the water to be released. So within that 15 minutes, 30 minutes, the round the clock teams, even at night, you would have seen they're responding and clearing all the garbage and the manholes so that water can freely flow. Now the problem is when unseasonal cloudburst type of rainfall, which is not it is not anticipated, it's like once in a lifetime kind of event. If that happens, then definitely there is some immediate problem. That also without any loss of any life, that effort by all means is being put. So there's a lot of hidden effort is there, lots of hidden effort.
Round of applause. मेरे सरकार में आने के बाद ये सारी नालियां ऑपोजिशन के गलियों में बहेंगी. हमने बहुत डंडे खाए, जेल गए और बहुत सारी कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ा, तब जाकर पॉलिटिशियन बन पाए. आप बताएं, पॉलिटिशियन बनना मुश्किल है या IAS ऑफिसर?
So, please.
So I think the answer is pretty obvious. They work hard for betterment of the society. They put in a lot of effort, knowledge. There is work going on from, I think, when they are just about teenagers, and they become what they become. And a lot of effort has been put in. And I think most politicians, barring you, most politicians put effort in making money than betterment of the society. So we know who works more hard.
पॉलिटिशियंस की नसीब में ही होते हैं। रेड टेपिज्म जो स्पेन में शुरू हुआ था, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस को और बेहतर करने के लिए, क्या हमारे देश ने इसको अडॉप्ट किया है? अगर किया है तो इसका आपकी काम पर असर क्या?
Just red tape, I think, बहुत ही negative term हो गया है. If you just see red tape, it's just the tape on the file. वो हमने British system से we have adopted the red tape system. Red tape बोलते हैं, but actually it is जैसे even for example even in your school, अगर आपको if you have to communicate to, you have a board meeting and then you have the minutes of the meeting, then you have agenda. तो मतलब in any organization to run it systematically with the role of each and every person, आपका some procedure is there. Same thing, red tape is nothing but the entire procedure before आप कुछ करने से पहले, who has given some proposal, what is the requirement of that. तो उसको ही because of delays we are calling it red tape. But otherwise कोई भी organization में आपका जो भी procedure होता है वो अगर आप print करके you could make a file of it, that is the same thing.
क्या होगा कि देश को पॉलिटिशियन और IAS ऑफिसर का कॉम्बो मिल जाए?
Actually, that is the way government works. There is already, they are working in combination only. Because, for example, you have politician, फिर वो जो party में होते हैं वो minister बनते हैं. They are the ones who set the policy, and the implementation is done by the officials. So they are working actually. There are three wings. Just in civics, you must be studying legislature, executive, and judiciary. So it is the legislature is nothing but the politicians, the executive is nothing but the officials, and of course the judiciary is the
लगता है मैंने अपनी बात को सही से नहीं रखा। मैं चाहता था कि आप मेरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ज्वाइन कर लें। क्या ख्याल है आप?
सोचेंगे, चूज़ता हूँ,
हमारी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के दरवाजे हमेशा आपके लिए खुले हैं।
थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद बहुत आपने मुझे वक्त दिया। केंद्र का बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने मुझे मेरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का प्रचार करने का मौका दिया। मैं आ रहा हूँ तेलंगाना।
पार्टी का द्वार भी खोल दिया, लेकिन याद रखिए ये कुर्सी मेरी है। नमस्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते।
So as I was saying before I was interrupted, this hamper will be given to one lucky guest after they answer a rapid fire round that we have planned for them. So please stay tuned for that.
I remember we decided not to call it the rapid fire round, but the trials of the hamper.
Well, it's the same whatever you call it. So, ma'am, can you tell us a bit about a day in your life, a typical day in your life, I would say?
So, is this part of the rapid fire? No. My day starts, basically our job is a mix of field inspections and office work. So, a day, if I have to go on field inspection, I will start at 8 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm in office by 10 o'clock. And then we have a series of meetings. And the most important part of our job is, listening to the grievances or the complaints which the, people may have, in the particular department you are in, and trying to resolve them. So usually the afternoons are for that. And then, usually it is like that.
When do you wake up in the morning?
I wake up at 6:30.
So what do you usually do on weekends?
Yeah, so we have Sundays is the only day off. Saturdays is also working. So usually I try to do some physical activity in the morning, even if it's for 15 minutes. So I try to squeeze that in every morning, including on the weekend. And I spend time with my family. My parents are also here. We go out, we watch movies, we watch a lot of Netflix, and just like do nothing. That is an ideal day, just sitting at home, eating a lot of junk food and watching, binge watching.
So as you said, you work 6 days a week. So how do you manage to balance your professional and personal life?
So I'm lucky in the sense that where I'm posted, my husband is also working in Hyderabad. My parents are here. So it makes it life much simpler if your family is living nearby. So that way I can spend time with them after office and on weekends, on holidays. So because they all stay around me, so that's not much of a problem with me. I don't have to travel anywhere to meet them. So.
And what do you enjoy about your job?
I enjoy the fact that it's very, very challenging. Every day is very different. It is not. It's not very routine. Or the day, what tomorrow will be very different from what today is. So there is a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities to keep learning. You may not, every day is a new day, as I said. Some new area you have to learn, some new situation you're in. So it keeps you on your toes and it's pretty challenging. That's what I like most.
And I agree, ma'am, because life always keeps throwing challenges at us.
Exactly.
And I think this question can extend to both guests. Did you ever think that you would have the honor of coming to our school?
Never imagined.
Not only that, I think the first time that I've come to a school with, where I can see the amount of effort you have put in, and it's such an interactive thing that it's very enjoyable. And I want to do it now. Because I have no idea, what you're going to ask me next. And I have to just shop for shoes.
And would you rather be in the mountains or in the beaches?
Mountains.
Now, is your favorite word Bollywood, Hollywood, or Tollywood?
Bollywood.
And would you rather find your dream job or win the lottery?
Dream job.
And what do you think your dream job is then?
Yeah, what I'm currently doing.
And what is your biggest fear in life?
Biggest fear? Fear of losing a loved one.
Ma'am, what subject were you worst at in your school days?
I think it would be physics.
And then what impresses you?
Impresses me someone who is very confident and has a great personality.
That's amazing. Ma'am, and finally, what word do you have a hard time pronouncing? That's an unusual one, but
what word
do you have this one?
Descended at the moment.
And it's very ironic.
Yeah.
Absolutely great answer there. I'm sure you might have a good time.
Ma'am, the place of your dreams?
Austria,
And why?
landscape,
One Indian language you want to learn?
Tamil and maybe,
One cartoon you used to watch as a child?
swat cats,
Ma'am, favorite pastime?
going for a jog.
Ma'am, how far do you jog every day?
Not every day, but about 3 kilometers whenever I get the time.
Ma'am, what flavors does your dream ice cream sundae contain?
Chocolate.
Ma'am, any others? Chocolate with chocolate sprinkles and...
Chocolate and Belgian chocolate and dark chocolate.
Ma'am, that is a very chocolatey sundae. Ma'am, would you rather it be summer or winter?
Winter.
And do you like snowmen?
Yeah.
Ma'am, would you find at 6 a.m. with your cup of tea or coffee, the Hindu or the Times of India?
The Times of India.
Ma'am, would you rather watch a movie with Amitabh Bachchan in it or Shah Rukh Khan in it?
If I was younger, I would have said Shah Rukh Khan, but now Amitabh Bachchan.
Ma'am, what is one magical power you would love to have?
To be able to know what someone is thinking.
Mind reading. Ma'am, what is one value you value the most?
Honesty and, if I may, integrity.
Ma'am, oranges or lemons?
Lemons.
Ma'am, do you like lemonade?
No.
Ma'am, do you have an Apple device or a Samsung device?
I have an Apple device.
Okay.
So we haven't forgotten about you, Ryan. We have a small rapid fire round for you as well. So your favorite holiday?
Paris.
Ma'am, your favorite type of cuisine?
Indian.
Ma'am, cats or dogs?
Dogs. I'm scared of cats.
I'm sure always agree. Sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
If you could be any animal, which would it be?
I would be a dog.
Why? Because you love them, or?
I think they're just adorable.
So describe yourself in 3 words.
Patient. Meticulous. And creative.
And it's those qualities that made you the entrepreneur and that made this school the way it is today. And if you could say one thing to God, what would it be?
More equality and peace in this world.
And one thing you'd like to change about yourself.
Sorry?
One thing you'd like to change about yourself.
Maybe more math knowledge. I get math, so.
Sure, a lot of us in the crowd can relate. Now, what was the last movie?
KGF. And it wasn't good.
Remember the second part just come out, so it's something for you to watch again.
No, the second part. That's what I watched and I didn't like it much.
And your favorite all-time song?
Not too good with names. What's that song with Ranbir Kapoor and Deepika Padukone in Bachna Hai, They're on the beach. What is that song?
No, it's just as bad a song as yours.
That's my favorite song. Sorry, I can't remember my favorite song.
Yeah. And so all of you gave great answers, and with this we come to the end of a rapid fire answer. So who do you think won?
I don't know. All of them did very well. I just can't decide.
So Rania, we would like to tell us who you think won. Now we need a clear winner for the hamper. We can't give it to both of them. Okay, well we prepared for this situation because we have a coin to toss.
Which coin? Your coin or my coin?
So ma'am, heads or tails? Tails, but it is heads, so we have a nice
This was a really fun morning for me in a long time, So I really thank you all for inviting me and also for, taking the effort to organize such an event. I know even for regular events, it's a lot of hard work, but this is something really, unexpected in a very nice way. So I really thank you all for inviting me and I wish all of the students appearing for 10th and 12th all the very best for your exams.
It was our pleasure to have you with us. And Jayaram, any words for the audience?
I'm grateful for the efforts that you've put in. I especially am aware of the fact that how much you wanted, and the teachers and the staff, including the students, have worked hard towards this. Just want to say a few words for the students, especially here. I'll not bore you with a quote or something like that. So, sitting in front of teenagers, it is difficult to inspire you to become something you don't want to, especially today's generation. You have that clarity in mind. So I want to tell you that the Defense Forces is a great opportunity for the youngsters of this country. I won't tell you how the organization works, or the pay, or the perks. So But I will tell you one thing that just about a decade ago, I was sitting just there where you are. And frankly, it's really difficult to find something that sticks with you, to find your dream. But somewhere along the line, everybody finds their way. Some quite early in life and some in their late 20s. Don't be disheartened if you don't find it just as you come out of school. But when you find it, keep it really close to your heart. Believe in it, believe in yourself. And if you do what you really love to do, what you really want, you will always be happy in doing your job. And when you're happy doing your job, like ma'am is here, you will always be successful. And patriotism is not about wearing the uniform, you know. An entrepreneur can be a patriot who is doing something for their country. A dedicated doctor or even a good architect can be a patriot. Patriotism is being just a good citizen. So even in the small things that you do in life, the love for your country is patriotism. So I am doing a job that I can do 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Find that love. Find that profession that you would love to do that. And it will never be taxable. You will never find yourself working too hard or pushing yourself too much. Too much will be very little for you. In that, I will just share with you something that what I read when I was in training. Far beyond the skies, the clouds are still blue. The dreams that you dare to dream do really come true. So students, dare. For if you don't dare, you will never be able to fly. I just want you to lead with 2 words in life, no matter where you go, how far you climb, what you become. Gratitude and humility. Gratitude for the ability to live your dreams, and this gratefulness will always bring you happiness. And no matter how high you climb in life or what you become, always be humble. That humility will earn you respect, and that humility will teach you to respect others, and it always will bring you success. All the best, and hope all of you achieve your dreams, whatever they may be. Thank you.
I think something we're always told and preached to do is follow our dreams, but we never end up actually doing that. So we will keep this in mind. So.
And ma'am, you can always come back to Ganges and compete for another hamper. Ma'am, you too.
इसी बात पे मैम, आशा से उम्मीद है और उम्मीद से ही आशाएं हैं. So don't give up. Just live your dreams and always remember the wonderful words spoken here. Please take it along with you when you move out of the room. Thank you so much, ma'am, and I must salute to both of you. Thank you, sir.
Namaste once again and thank you.
Since we stepped onto the campus, I think we've been talking about Shakti, Nari Shakti, feminism, women, and how wonderful they are. And it makes me feel good that I am a woman. But I think we shouldn't underestimate the other 50% who have always stood shoulder to shoulder with us. And if at some point we have been pushed behind, I think while we are pushing our way forward, these people are there, behind our backs, helping us move forward. So while we celebrate our being, let's say 3 cheers to the men in our lives, including all these young, handsome boys over here. Thank you all for being part of our lives. Thank you.
Definitely fun and interesting. Now I welcome our Executive Director, Ms. Vani Raju, to address the gathering.
samajasya kushan vastukara. Women is the skilled architect of society, says our ancient culture. Miss Shruti Oja, IS Additional Commissioner, GHMC, Squadron Leader Sanya, a pilot with the Indian Air Force, ladies who are parents of some of our grandchildren here, other guests, Namaskaram, and welcome to today's event, Shakti, which kickstarts our decennial celebrations. Shakti, denoting the mother goddess, the fountain of life, by extension includes Nari Shakti, women power. And our chief guest and guest of honor today epitomize this power. Ardhanarishwara, Adam and Eve, young concepts from Indian, Occidental and Oriental cultures respectively symbolize the equal role of women and men to maintain harmony in nature. Historically, like Vimla ma'am mentioned earlier, were relegated to second-class citizens a few centuries ago, but are now reclaiming their position as equal partners of men. Power is not merely a physical strength, but also mental and spiritual strength, which abound in women and make them the pillars of society, and that is what we are celebrating today. Ganges will be a decade old in June 2022. While we would like our 10th year to be a year of celebrations, would have liked it to be, circumstances have forced us to delay this by a year or so. Here we are today, raring to step into our 11th year and aim for star always. We had an eventful 10 years, growing from a strength of 150 students and 25 staff to over 1400 students and 150 staff. We have sent out 7 batches of grade 10 and 3 batches of grade 12 with excellent results, even if I say so myself. While we have worked very hard in the classrooms, we have played hard as well, whether it be art and craft, music and dance, or sports. Our children, we believe, will be the ambassadors of a culture that celebrates learning and grows good human beings. To achieve this, we need to harness the synergies of students, staff, parents, and the community at large. And we have been fortunate in this aspect. For this, I am grateful to all the stakeholders and the wonderful team I have with me at Ganges. Educate a woman and you educate a society. That is the general belief today. Reinforcing this belief to further the advancement of the Nari Shakti, I would like to announce that we will sponsor one girl child for +2 education on merit cum means basis, and God willing, we may be able to extend this assistance for further education in future for many more. I would like to once again thank Ms. Shruti Oja and Squadron Leader Sanya for being with us today. I would also like to thank all who have partnered with us in the last 10 years of our journey in self-discovery, learning and adventure, and look forward to growing from strength to strength with the blessings and the cooperation of all our stakeholders. We hope to achieve much greater heights. My best wishes to our Academic Director, Ms. Vimla Chandrasekhar, Principal Ms. Suparna Mehrotra, Vice Principal Cinemol, Headmistress Shivani Khatar, Head of GRDC Ms. Sumana, Academic Coordinators Sujata and Archana, the admin team, and all of your committed teams and staff. as they set out to make the next year a memorable one, and of course to the most important section of our raison d'etre, all the Gangians. Best of luck, and may you continue to bring laurels to the school and make us feel blessed to be a part of your lives. I would like to close with the shloka for the teacher-learner. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvi Vidhi Mastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all.
Wow, motivation is in the air today. What do you think, Katie?
Agreed, Vardhan, but I know a secret.
Wait, what secret? Competitions among the student mothers are completed. But before the announcement of the winners, look to your sides, audience. The Grade 10 girls are here to entertain you with yet another dance performance.
Girls like to swing.
The salad making competition, match point, the badminton doubles, and turncoat, the debate. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the announcement of the winners. First up, we have the winners for turncoat. The first runner-up is Miss Hima Bindu, and the winner is Miss Sirisha. I request both of them to approach the stage. Request Ms. Shakti IAS to give away the prizes to the winners of turncoat. And Miss Sirisha, is Miss Sirisha over here? Now for the next competition, match point, the badminton doubles. The first runner-up has Miss Saujanya and Miss Satya Baralakshmi. I request both of them to approach the stage. And in second place, we have the team Miss Srivani and Miss Lakshmi Sairaja. Great teamwork, mothers. And now for the winners of Zyka. The first runner-up is Miss Manaswini Sahu. And the winner is, I request both of them to come to the stage. Congratulations and 3 cheers to all the participating mothers present here. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
As Leader Sanya, to accept our small token of gratitude on behalf of Ganges, may I request Principal Ma'am?
Namaste to one and all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this grand and memorable occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank our chief guests, Ms. Shruti Ojha, AS, Additional Commissioner GHMC, and Squadron Leader Ms. Sanya Bharti for lending us their passion. I also express my gratitude to all the mothers who have participated in the competitions and have showcased the true power of femininity, which is the prime motive of the first event of the decennial year, Shakti. We are grateful to our Executive Director, Ms. Vani Raju, and our Academic Director, Ms. Vimala Chandrasekhar, for her support and encouragement. I thank our Principal, Ms. Suparna Mehrotra, for her interest, stewardship, support, vision, and commitment without which this event would still be teething. I thank our Vice Principal, Ms. Cindy Mall, and our Headmistress, Ms. Shivani Khattar, for their unstinted guidance and support to ensure everything functions smoothly today. My heartfelt thanks to the academic administrators, our faculty, team events, and the non-technical staff who have worked hard for making this occasion a memorable success. And last but not the least, I thank all the student participants for their performance the audience, both off-screen and on-screen, watching our event live today. I extend my gratitude to all the good hearts who have worked behind the screens. Finally, I leave you this inspiring quote by Martin Luther King. An individual has not started living until he rises above the confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. Thank you all for their attention. Now I request the audience to rise for the national anthem.